So, you want to get way better results from generative AI? Well, you're in the right place. We're about to break down exactly how to do that. And we're basing this all on a fantastic guide from Virtualization Options LLC. They're a tech research and education group based out of Colorado. Let me ask you something. Have you ever asked an AI to do something and what you get back is just kind of bland, generic, not very helpful, just meh? It's frustrating, right? Well, here's the secret. The problem probably isn't the AI, it's the instructions we're giving it. I want you to think about generative AI like it's a super talented but very literal chef. If you walk into the kitchen and say, make me something with chicken, well, you're probably going to get a plain, boring chicken breast. But if you give that chef a detailed recipe, now you're getting exactly what you were craving. So why is our AI chef so literal? What's going on in its digital brain? Well, the key thing to remember is that it doesn't understand your request like a person does, not really. What it's a master at is recognizing patterns. See, when you give it a prompt, it's not thinking, oh, they want a story. It's scanning for statistical patterns it learned from the mountains of data it was trained on. A vague prompt like, tell me a story, just matches the most common, average, generic patterns for story. But a specific prompt, that forces the AI to dig deeper and find much more interesting and useful connections. Okay, so if the AI is our chef, that makes our prompt the recipe. It is the single most important tool we have to give clear, precise instructions. It's how we make sure the dish that comes out of that kitchen is the amazing meal we actually ordered. And it's a really direct relationship. You can almost think of it like this. The amount of thought you put into your prompt is directly proportional to the quality of the result you get back. A little more effort upfront is going to save you so much time and frustration down the line. So how do we build this perfect recipe? Well, the guide we're following breaks it down into 4 key ingredients. Think of this as a super practical framework you can start using, like, today. All right, here they are. Assign a role, provide context, define the task, and specify the format. Role, context, task, format. These are your building blocks for pretty much any great prompt. Let's dig into that first one, assigning a role. This first ingredient is so powerful because it basically frames the AI's entire response from the get-go. By telling the AI who it should be, giving it a persona, you're giving it an instant filter for its tone, its knowledge base, and its whole perspective. And you can go in so many directions with this. You could ask it to be a professional, like an experienced pediatrician, to get some really solid expert-level advice. Or you can get creative, have it respond as Marie Curie or Sherlock Holmes. You can completely change the style of the response just with this one little instruction. Ingredient number 2 is all about context. If the role is the who, then context is the why. It's that crucial background information that helps the AI understand the purpose behind what you're asking for. I mean, we've all done this, right? You just type in a simple question like, explain photosynthesis. And what do you get? A dry, textbook answer that's probably way more or way less complicated than what you actually needed. Now look at the night and day difference when we add context. By explaining who you are, a teacher, and who the audience is, 12-year-olds, the AI suddenly has specific guardrails. It knows it needs to simplify the language, maybe use an analogy, and structure the info for a lesson plan. Same topic, totally different result, and it's infinitely more useful. All right, our third ingredient is defining the task. This is all about getting super specific about the what. It's about turning a fuzzy idea into a crystal clear, actionable instruction for the AI. For example, write a story could be literally anything, but write a 500-word science fiction story about a botanist. Now the AI has focus. Its creative energy is aimed at a specific target. Same thing with tell me about cars. That's way too broad. But asking it to explain regenerative braking, now you're going to get a detailed, technical explanation instead of a useless overview. And that brings us to our final key ingredient, specify the format. This is the how. How do you want the information delivered back to you? And let me tell you, this simple step can save you so much boring copy-paste and reformatting work later. And you can be incredibly specific here. Ask for a 2-column table, a formal business email, or even structured data like a JSON object if you're a developer. You can even ask it to write a 5-minute presentation script. Telling the AI the exact format you need makes its output immediately usable. Okay, so you've mastered the 4 basic ingredients. You're making some pretty good dishes. Now let's add a little extra spice, a pro tip that will take your prompting from good to truly great. The big idea is this. Instead of just telling the AI what you want, you can actually show it what a perfect response looks like. It's a simple concept, but it's incredibly powerful. The technical term for this is few-shot prompting. All it means is that you include a few examples, say 2 to 5, of your desired output right there inside your prompt. This is hands down one of the best ways to guide the AI, especially when you're going for a really unique style or a complex format. Think about it. Let's say you need product descriptions that match your brand's quirky voice. Instead of trying to describe that voice, just give the AI a few examples of descriptions you've written before that you love. The AI will pick up on the pattern, the rhythm, the style, and apply it to the new products. It works like a charm. So, why did we spend all this time breaking down the perfect recipe for a prompt? Well, because in a world where pretty much everyone has access to AI, the ability to communicate clearly with it, that is quickly becoming a genuine superpower. The source material we're using puts it perfectly. The AI is this incredibly powerful engine, right? But a well-crafted prompt, that's the steering wheel. It's what gives you the control. It lets you navigate all that power with precision and point it exactly where you want to go. You know, as AI evolves from just being a tool into more of a creative partner, the quality of the conversation you have with it is everything. So the question isn't just about what the AI can do anymore. The real question is, with you at the helm, with you writing the recipe, what will you and your AI chef cook up together?